Hello, my name is Chantel Adams, and welcome to Mission Driven Monday. Today I'm interviewing Lauren Ware. I first met Lauren in Memphis, Tennessee about 6 or 7 years ago. I was there with my organization, the Princess Generation, that I did with my friend Jenny. And Jenny introduced me to Lauren, who showed us around Memphis, and we had a great time. And Lauren just has a very welcoming personality, and I enjoyed getting to know her on that trip. And so it's a real pleasure to interview her here. Lauren now is married and has 4 little kids, 3 little boys, and a baby girl. And she has her own design firm that is called it's called actually Warehouse Designs.
Right.
And I know that Lauren loves to design. I know that she loves houses and just home decor and all of those things. But there's more to Lauren than meets the eye, and we're going to find out about that right here today. So are you ready to get started, Lauren?
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. All right. So let's start with our first question. I know you're a mom, and many times as moms, it's tempting for us to say that our proudest accomplishment is our kids. And I know they have 4 kids, and you're doing a great job raising them. But aside from your kids, what is something that you're really proud of?
That's a hard question. I'd like to think that my greatest accomplishment is yet to come. Like it's just over the horizon, like we're almost there. And I know that's something that we're always trying to work towards. But today I'd have to say that my greatest accomplishment is just overcoming some insecurities and gaining self-confidence and just that journey. We all have things that we're insecure about, and sometimes that lack in self-confidence can really burden us just for years. And that can change with age and maturity,
Right.
but sometimes it's just a lifelong journey. And for me, I have these raised moles on the side of my face, and I've always hated them. And I used to only sit on the left side of the room so that my good side was exposed to the masses. And I used to just only speak when spoken to in a group setting, just because I didn't want the attention on me, and I didn't want to say something stupid or embarrass myself. So I would just stay silent. And another one that I can laugh about now is I do not have model perfect feet. My toes, they just curl in a little bit. And so for years, I did not wear open-toed sandals. And I was raised in the South. It gets hot in the summer.
Sure.
But I'm just surrounded now by a handful of people who've just spoken truth in my life and encouraged me and just taught me how to really laugh at myself and give myself grace. My husband has been one of those people who's just been fabulous at building up my self-esteem throughout our marriage, and family on both sides, and just a handful of really good friends. And these people have played a role in just that journey of self-confidence.
Do you feel that since you've kind of let go of some of those insecurities, do you feel a real sense of freedom now that you're able to sit on whatever side of the room you want to sit on?
Exactly. And, that doesn't mean that I still have many self goals that I'm working towards and imperfections, but I'm just more confident in who I am as a woman and who God designed me to be. Mm-hmm. So therefore those insecurities aren't crippling to my everyday lifestyle.
Yeah. Well, I love too how you said that you feel like maybe your greatest accomplishment is yet to come. And I was actually thinking about this today. I was reading an article about creating a learning bucket list. And about how it's good to sort of set goals about things that you want to learn. And I wrote down kind of 7 things that I really want to learn in the coming years. And I thought, this is so fun because there's so much really that there is yet to do, right? I mean, and life is so exciting, and there are things that we still are learning about ourselves, about other people, and about the world. And there's just so much out there. So I love that you said that.
Right. And another thing for me is just not to compare myself to others, because that just truly is the thief of joy when it comes to my self-confidence and self-esteem.
Yeah, truly. So I guess building on that, because I feel like the way that you've described that, maybe it's something that you're still doing. What's something that you're learning right now? Is there anything that you're working on and that you're just paying attention to right now and really learning?
That's another great question that I really love, because as adults, we can just kind of become complacent in our everyday. So to be striving to learn more is hard to do. But right now I'm learning to live with less, with the hopes of of gaining more. So
Oh,
for the past several years, I've been trying to have less stuff, fewer activities, and more time with loved ones. So that sounds so nice and simple, but it is hard to
it's
do.
hard to
And
do.
it's something that I just revisit on a regular basis, especially with kids in your life. And just, so for less stuff, it just requires me going room to room and drawer to drawer and looking at the things that I have and do I really need this? And do I really
Mhm.
like it? And why do I have it? And, some things we have an emotional attachment to for different reasons. But I
Mhm.
found that as I sold things and donated items, I just had more wiggle room in my closets and in my drawers. And it just has brought me so much peace in my house to have more space and organization. And have a label maker that I really, really like. That helps once the stuff is all cleared out. That
Yeah.
helps keep things where they're supposed to be, because, and with the rest of the family too, this is where it goes. It's
Yeah.
labeled.
Yeah. Well, in conjunction with that, you say that you're learning that yourself. Is that also something that you're teaching your clients?
Absolutely. Yeah. To have peace in your home. I mean, it's not just the, the pieces of furniture that you have, but it's all the
Mhm.
stuff and the clutter that's brought in. And so
Yeah.
to have that organized and only have what you truly need and what you truly love, it's just going to create a much different environment that compared to clutter and
Yes.
just stuff.
I know I feel more joyful when I have less stuff around.
Yes.
I just love taking things to Goodwill. I love throwing things
Mhm.
away, um, because you don't miss it, right? After it's
Right.
gone, you just don't.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, yeah, and you realize how little you actually need.
That's true.
Yeah.
For the fewer activities, that requires me to say no a lot, which is hard because I like to be a people pleaser. So for myself, I've got opportunities with the neighborhood and the school and church, and I just have to really be picky about what I make my commitments to, because I don't want to be an inch deep and a mile wide. I really want to invest in what it is that I love doing and what I enjoy. And then for the kids, we are pretty strict about one activity per semester. So if,
Mhm.
like, for instance, soccer and baseball are both offered in the fall, they need to pick one, because I want our family time to, just be something that's good for everyone and not bouncing from one place to another all day, every day.
Yeah, yeah. I read somewhere recently that when you're in your 20s, you should kind of say yes to everything because you're sort of building your network. But when you're in your 30s, you should say no to almost everything and really figure out what's important. It sounds like you've done that.
Yeah. Well, this particular season in life, I feel like um, I'm kind of living the upgraded 2.0 version of less stuff and for more opportunity, or excuse me, living with less for the opportunity of
Yes,
having more.
right.
Because as of last month, my husband is now a full-time student. So
Oh,
he had a great job. I was providing for our family, but just wasn't feeling fulfilled at work. And it really affected the whole family. So at age 36, he bravely reconsidered what it was he wanted to be when he grew up. And that prompted a career change.
yeah.
So we moved to a different part of the state, 6 hours away. Um, and he's in school full time. So we're living with less, which means less stuff, less activities, less income, less square footage.
Yeah.
But with the hopes of having more in the form of family time and just peace and ultimately fulfillment with
Right.
his career and just our family life. And so far, it's been a really good thing for our family and a good thing for me to learn.
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad that that's really working out. It's important.
Yeah.
All right, our last question, and this one is the one that people really, I don't know if struggle is the right word, but I think that this is the one that it's like we want to get this right because we're talking about kind of what our legacy is going to be and what we want our future to look like and what we want to be known for. And so when you think about the future Lauren, who is that? Like, what do you want to be known for? Are there a couple of words or adjectives or things that you want to use to describe your future self?
That is hard to do, to look towards the future. And it's a good way of goal setting and just kind of looking at that each day. But the first one came easy for me because the beginning of the year I did a study called My One Word, where instead of having a long laundry list of resolutions, you just focused on one word all year.
Yes.
So my one word for this year is strength. And I want to be strong for my family. I want to, the verse that I chose to go along with that is Proverbs 31:25. And it's, she is clothed in strength and dignity, and she laughs at fear of the future. And not just really knowing what the future holds for us. I'm like, that's what I need in my life right now. I want to be strong for myself and my family. And that just means avoiding taking the easy way out on a daily basis, being strong enough to make the right choices, and self-care and parenting and work, and just being strong in all of those decisions.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. And that verse you said, it's one of my favorite verses too. I think it's just a beautiful verse that represents what it means to be a woman, and to say that she's clothed in strength and dignity, and to walk that way every day. I love that you said that. And we will post the link to that book in our comment section on our Facebook page, and also on the website. I'm familiar with that book as well, and I loved it. My word this year is enthusiasm, and it's something that I'm working on, because I love the word. It means to be filled with the Spirit of God. And so a little different take on what we normally think of as enthusiasm. I love your word strength. I love hearing about people's one word. So if you have a one word that you want to share with us, please do that. And thank you, Lauren, for sharing with us today. It was a joy to talk with you, and I hope that you had as much fun as I did. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.